is Marion, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee.
Get ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. For the next hour, we will forget about the black man, we will forget about the white man, and we will deal with the human. Pastor Andre Guy is here to answer your questions from a biblical perspective. He's an humble man who's on a mission to bring the church together with a Bible and a dictionary. He will tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help him God. And now, here's Pastor Andre Guy.
Well, good evening, Memphis and the rest of the world. Welcome to the birthday edition of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I'm Andre Guy Reed.
Hey, you got Kira.
He halfway there. For the next hour, let's forget about the black man, and let's forget about the white man. Let's deal with the human from a Bible perspective, if you will. Feel free to call in at 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. For any comments, suggestions, agreements, or even disagreements we may have, we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Okay, it's the Truth Radio Show, brought to you by the Truth Radio Network. We deal with everything from sex, race, religion, politics, and even sometimes sports from a Bible perspective. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Happy birthday to Apostle Andre D. Guy Reed. Oh, God, I thank you. Today is January the 10th of the year 2020. 20 years ago on this day, Andre D. Guy Reed stepped out on a calling and a vision that God wanted me to be an apostle of the church. That God wanted me to go start a church. Didn't have a building, didn't have a member, didn't have any money. He gave me 3 instructions. He said, Andre, if you do this, I'm going to make you successful in this, and I'm going to guide you, I'm going to provide for you, and I'm going to protect you. He said, preach the word, love the people, and obey me. Indeed. Went a couple of years as an associate pastor over at the House of Prayer with the Dr. Robert T. Fowles, retired elder of the CME Church, and did that for a while. I said, Dr. Fowles, God says it's time for me to get back on my journey and to be senior pastor of the ministry of my own. And he said, God told him the same. Got a building over at 587 South 4th Street. If you went out of bound for blessing side door, you were looking in my front door. It's still over that little white church on the hill. Started off renting for every other Sunday with another pastor named Robert Harris. He had first and third Sunday, I had second and fourth Sunday. I think after about 3 or 4 months, I get it up to about 7 members. If we took up $300 in a month, Lord, I mercy, that was the parting of the Red Sea. Did that till Robert Harris, he didn't pay his bill, and I ended up paying every Sunday of the month. And I did that for 2 or 3 years, a couple of years. And some people came in and bought the church and violated our lease and put my ministry out in the street. God had provided to us what we had just bought a church van before all that happened. So for the people, remember, that didn't have rides, we could pick them up, and I rented space from the blind man to church on Marble for a while, and different churches I rented space, but it didn't work out, and I finally landed at a place called the El-Amin Hotel over there on Summer. The little Filipino lady that owned the place, she found favor with me and let me rent the ballroom for Sunday service. Didn't have a Bible study, just Sunday services. We did that for about 3 years. Oh, and keep in mind, when I first started building Revelation Christian Center, I started building up on Lion Street, a piece of property that my father told me that he had bought the year I was born, and I was going to convert it into a church, but it burned up. And so that's how I ended up being associate pastor for a couple of years, still sending groundwork for building. So anyway, we're at the El-Amin in the church that we're in right now. They had asked me about buying the church a few months before, and we got approved to take the church of praise for like 220-some thousand. And they approved it, but we had to come up with $50,000 earnest money. We didn't even have $50. There was some time me and my wife were pawn our wedding rings to pay the light bill at the church. And sometimes she feared that maybe that I was going to pay the light bill at the church and our lights were going to get cut off because we played it just that closing. But through it all, the lights at the church and lights at the house never got turned off. We never did lose our jewelry or no kind of payday loans and check loans and all that stuff. We paid it off. Made it through it. And then God presented it with a place we're at now, 1561 Boxwood, while we were in Alabama, that the people said God had touched their heart and told them to turn their church over to me, and it was Leader Federal Bank then, and we did an assumable loan. And I took over the church, all the properties in the church from New Hebrew Baptist Church. That's right, I took the Baptist church, turned it into a Christian church. Thank you, Jesus. We did all that for $10. It's like God worked like, if you don't believe me, you come to the church, I'll show you the contract. God blesses the way we moved into that church in the same place. Just one street over where I started building the original Revelation. Keep that in mind. For $10, we assumed that loan and moved into the church. A couple of months after God did that miracle in our ministry and gave us a building, they condemned Alabama. If you go down Summer right now, it's not there. They would have shut me down. But God had moved us out. And all this time during this, I forgot to mention my first couple of years in ministry, ran across a man. And he did a TV show that I appeared on his show, Reverend Harris. That's what it was, a Reverend Harris show. And the man who was shooting at Paul Tutt, that was his name. He said, man, you thought about doing TV, man. You got a nice little TV voice for your ministry. And so, no, I never thought about it. And he worked it out as that way. I ended up getting a TV show at Comcast. A couple of years after that, my friend and my barber, who's passed on, Robert Sims, he was on the radio. He mentioned about me getting into radio. First, when I thought about it, I said, man, that'd be good. That'd be my ministry. And I started with Dennis Bernard and Thaddeus Matthews when Dennis had the station over there on Mendenhall. And they moved over here to 1600, and I was going with them first. And Dennis lost the contract to Thaddeus, and Thaddeus ended up losing the contract back to Dave. And anyway, I ended up with meeting Dave Brown at the radio station and got my own radio show for one day a week, 2 days a week, eventually 5 days a week. And through that time, I've been through all kind of escapades. I did for a couple of years where I did a show with the Kingpin, Thorin Peters, the atheist. He died recently, and we even wrote a book. I had a chance where I went into a white supremacy meeting and took a picture with David Duke because Matthew 5 says, if you love those who love you, you've done nothing. But when you love those who don't love you, then you do it for me. And all this time, I kept preach the word, love the people, obey me. In these 20 years that God has had me pastor in Revelation Christian Center, look at the rolls, well over 300. So many people have come through the ministry. They've said that they're going to be with me for life, and that God has planted them there, and that it's going to be a great ministry and all that. And not many have stayed. But I thank God for that faithful few. Because at the end of the day, even sent me back to college and got my bachelor's degree in organizational leadership and paralegal studies from the University of Memphis. So that way I can have credentials like the Apostle Paul to show that not that I'm just some fly-by-night out here popping his lips. I have substance. He told me to focus on two things, the Bible and the dictionary. All the other hoopla is just that hoopla. Focus on the Bible and the dictionary. I did. Now we come to what state recognized, federally recognized, a true entity, a church that was started from nothing. I couldn't understand why God picked this particular time in my life in this particular period. Go on my sabbatical. I haven't been on one in 5 or 6 years. I used to do them at least every 2. And till yesterday, when he revealed it to me, reflect back on, because it don't seem like me and Q were just talking. It's been 20 years today. Mm-hmm. God had me step out a man that had been in prison, an adult fiend, 3 kids by 3 different women, and on his 3rd marriage. Step out and say, hey, y'all, God has called me to do this and teach this. I can honestly say, I challenge any man, woman, or child out there. In these 20 years I've been pastoring, to tell me anything Andre Guy Reed has done to you that violated the teaching or the treating was taught to me by Christ. A lot of people don't like what I said. Might not like the way I said it. But even though we'll tell you one thing about it, he's going to tell you he loves you when he gets through. And he's going to show you in the Bible why he believed what he believed. I stand true to that. God wanted me to reflect over these 20 years and then receive from him the power that's going to be needed for the times that we're in right now. The vision that's going to be needed to take the ministry to the next level. The prophecy to prove that what I'm doing is called and ordained and orchestrated by God. And the ability to get it done. All this has been the best 20 years of my life. I wouldn't trade my worst day as a Christian for my best day in the world. God has exceeded 10 times, 20 times, 30 times more of the promises that he showed me. Just in this alone, he does nothing else for me. He's done more than I deserve. If my legacy was to be written right now, you can write it for 20 years. He had no regrets. That's who I am. That's why I do this radio show, not for fame, not for fortune. I made a promise to God. With it with a guy came to church one time, he had long hair. He was a drunk, an enforcer for the gangs. He was married, but he never did cuss his wife out or hit her with his fist. One of the most mind-manipulating, abusive people I ever met in my life. Then he was huge, too. I'll never forget the day when he came, that we were closing our church service, and he just jumped up and hollered, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to join this church. Can you remember that guy?
Yes, I do.
Who was that?
That was me.
How did we end up together? We've been together over 14 years. Q, how did this happen?
Okay, man, I can tell you how it started. Keep on going.
I told you God would give you more.
Yeah, I was at Volunteer Express, and this another guy named Jay was listening to. I told him I need to change and I need to do better, and he was listening to you. He was listening to you before I was, and he told me, he said, "Hey man, look, turn to 1600. Listen to this pastor, man. This dude right here say some stuff that I never heard before." And I remember the one you were talking about that day. I heard you. You talking about the Antichrist, and he was a sissy.
The book of Daniel, that would say he's homosexual.
He was homosexual.
Yes, he would not be a lover of women.
I said, I've never heard of I said it. But then it did something to me. But I didn't show up then. I still was church hopping, trying to find somewhere to land. And I got to the breaking point. I said, I told my wife, we're going to find a church. I got it on my GPS. I don't know what we're going to go into, but I need to go to the church because if we don't, I'm not going to make it.
And you living in Mississippi?
Mm-hmm. So we got in it that Sunday morning. We get me and my kids. We got up, and my wife and kids got up, went to church. And we sat in the back because I didn't want to sit up front because I was like, man, look, if it ain't good, if he's doing some. If he run a game, I'm just gonna leave. We just gonna get up and go. So we sat down, and it was amazing because he was telling everybody, told the women, y'all sit, the women, the kids, sit here and pray for us. We're gonna go out here and pray, go around the house and pray.
They when they had stole my drum and my guitar. Yeah, okay, I remember that day.
And Kenneth Smith came by me. I was just sitting down. He told me, "Come on, you come with us." I'm looking around like, man, hold on. I just got here. What y'all want me to do? But it was amazing to see the church, the guys of the church leaving out the 4 walls, going around this house, banding hands and praying. and asking God to deliver them and do it. It was just amazing. Then we came back. He might not say it right now, but he remembered it. Every move he make, I would keep my eyes right on him. I purposely didn't look at you. You look like you want to fight. I remember that. I watched he moved to the left, I moved to the left. He moved to the right, I moved to the right. I kept my eyes on him. And then they did a benediction. See, I'm from a Lutheran church, so I ain't know how this stuff go. But then God told me, this is my church, so I ran up there. At the end, they finna close and shut the thing. They had did the benediction, and you I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to join this church. And then everything had to stop. We had to start back to get you in the name on the road. Yeah, because my wife and kids like, huh? What happened? How was your family life then? What kind of man were you then, Q? Man, I was a drunk, man. I was, I ain't cuss, but I know how to talk to people in certain ways. And man, my kids were scared of me, man. They were like, if I told them sit right there, they'll sit right there. They don't move or nothing because you like, man, that won't even move, would it? Sure, then you built like Tony Hayes. I remember when you first joined the church, people like BB and stuff, when everybody would walk around and we'd embrace each other when we getting ready for the word. And your area would always be clear. Nobody going over there. Man, nobody gave you the hug. Because I didn't smile. I frowned all the time. I was so messed up because I didn't know what true love was and true friendship and I didn't know nothing. So I knew how to hate. I knew all the other stuff. So it took some while. I know how to lie real good too then. But it took some while. It took a long time to get this off me. But when it did, everybody look at me like, man, that's cute right there. And that cute, I've been known that my ministry is just like Jesus said in the Word, is a hard ministry to digest. Mm-hmm. I remember Pastor McElroy years ago, he said, man, a lot of times people run off from the church, man, because it's too hard for what you're saying. I said, man, what's hard about what I'm saying? He said, well, I said it wrong. He said, it's hard for what you're saying. They can accept that. The problem is, after you said something real hard, you go right in the Bible and show them that it's in there. That's the hard part. I said, what I'm going to do, man? Well, ain't nothing you really can do, man. Just keep teaching the Bible. Mm-hmm. Did you have your time when I was teaching hard to you? Yeah, I had my time. How many times you want to jump on me? I ain't want to jump on you. I want to whoop you and then burn down the church. I forgot you going to burn down the church, too. Oh, yeah, I'm going to take it up to get rid of the whole church. Because it's how you say it, and then you look at me, and then you told me something. You go ahead and hit me. I'm going to ball up in the night. I know I'm going to ball up in the night. I'm going to get in a peace position. I'm going to roll that over there and stuff. You ain't going to kill me and stuff. Then I'm going to call the police now. And then when they lock you up, I'm going to come visit you, put some money in your book. That's what got me right there. I balled my piece up and talked to them. You going to come see me? Yeah. Put some money in your book, too. And stuff. And then I'll be locking you up. And then let you know, like, come on back to the church, because I'm still be teaching the same thing, because the word ain't going to change. You're going to have to change. That's how we're going to do this. And I'm so thankful for you, man. I thank God for you. Man, you closer than any son that I could ever make, man. I mean, me, you, and your wife, all the years of the people that came and left, the two people I know beyond a shadow of a doubt going to be there till I leave here. You and Sister Brayden with me and Lisa. Mm-hmm. I remember one time we were talking about, because people were saying that, I had a lot of my white people that listened to this stuff, and they liked the ministry, but they were scared of the neighborhood, and some of them were well-to-do people and stuff. And they said, man, if you was just in a different area, man, or something like that, man, we would love to join that ministry. And we were talking about getting another church and stuff, man, and we had got approved because we had a good track record of paying our bills and all that, and it was going to take more than just me and Lisa saying we need some more trustees to have some property. And mentioned about you and Sister Brayden putting y'all house up, man, y'all didn't even blink. You said, well, we signed that. But just so happened, God stopped both of us, and I didn't tell y'all we'll get another building. What I'm going to do it for y'all right there on Boxwood Street. Mm-hmm. That's where that, and I ain't leaving the Boxwood look like Germantown. And so, I mean, what has it done for your life, man? Because I know what it done for mine. Man, the proof is in the pudding, man. I've never been so happy and so free. And my marriage is wonderful. My kids, our life is, we didn't have no relationship like we have now. Now we done traveled all over the world and stayed in some of the best resorts on the planet, man. And we got a lot more. We got
a lot more to do. I said the same. We're doing Hawaii this year. All right, y'all. That's the story of it.
You got 2 callers.
Okay, and y'all should help me doing this because I'm doing it for God. Send them through. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Q must have been a real live fool.
Why is that, Rick?
What do you think?
I said, why is that?
I mean, you sound like a caged gorilla when you met him, but you look like one. But y'all just get along with each other. But I was going to comment that there's something you.
I'm going to apologize for to make that right. Let me put it like that because I am human.
You came and got me at least 3 times with a Halloween mask on.
Okay.
You was wearing a Halloween mask. I never got to see your face.
Ricky, what do you want? This is a glorious day. I'm praising God. What do you want? What do you want with that shade?
No, I was just trying to cheer y'all up a little bit. How's the cold weather treating you?
It's not cold.
It's hot outside.
Y'all be careful. It's going to be a bad storm coming tomorrow. Yes. It's a perfect tornado weather. I'm looking for this to be ugly tomorrow.
Hey, Ricky. You got the other guy said, get off the line. He ready to talk.
Oh, no. Just tell him come to 5237.
Don't you go to the other guy.
So we can talk.
You see that, Ramon Jones? You got your nerve to talk.
Tell the other guy we can talk in person.
You heard that?
Oh, man, bye, Ricky, bye. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Don't you go over there. Other guy, don't you go over there. Don't go over there. They do. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. Don't go over there.
Okay. Hey, Dr. Guy. Speaking of that. In your monologue, you told us all the good things that God did for you.
Okay.
And you turned around and forsake him.
No, I obey his instructions. You said, preach the word, love the people, and obey me. Man. Oh, God, very real.
He is real.
The realest thing in my life.
Okay. Sir,
he's the only thing I found that I could die for and I live. That's how real God is.
Okay. Sir, this is what I'm saying. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Okay?
Okay.
I cannot. It just blows my mind to hear a man or a woman say that God called them to do a job. And then they say, I'm going to retire. It wasn't for you.
I'm going to retire?
Yeah. You sabbatical. Or whatever.
Sabbatical is not a retirement.
Yeah.
You know what?
You got a job.
You know what?
That job is to preach the word of God.
I see why black folk don't understand the word impeach with me. This is ridiculous.
Hold on. Okay. You just like your son, RC.
Yeah.
Don't come in nothing.
Wait a minute. Other guy. Jesus went on sabbaticals all the time. What a sabbatical is.
You are not Jesus, man.
I'm a Christian. I'm trying to be Christ-like.
Christ-like. There you go.
If I'm gonna be Christ-like, I gotta act like Christ. Would you agree with that?
Act like this, act like Christ. I agree with that.
Sabbatical is a retreat where you get away from people, you get away from places and things. You just get alone with God. Your communion, just you and God. That's it. It's not that I'm retiring. I'm going refueling. I'm going refreshing. I'm going reviving.
Can I give you something?
I think I want it. It's a sabbatical.
Oh, sabbatical, whatever. It's such a word, Smith. Sabbatical, right? I said sabbatical. Okay? While you're on there, if some kid that might have, you could have probably touched along the way, but you're too busy being selfish and stopping everything.
No, because the kid they're going to be touched along the way. The kid that need to be touched along the way. Pastor Braden will still be in operation. Whether it's Pastor Braden, wait a minute, whether it's Pastor Braden or Pastor Guy, we both going to lead you to the same Jesus. It ain't about us, it's about Christ, man. Light Brown got a message for you.
Message from Light Brown. Sabbatical is a 7th grade word. Other guy didn't finish 6th grade.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you didn't get out 6.
No. I got double promotion, like, bro.
You did social promotion. You were 25 in the 9th grade. They gave you a diploma.
There you go. Look there. And I'm tell you something else.
Mm-hmm.
On my report card, you know, I had nothing but B's in there. I brought that card home and gave it to my mama, and my mama said, "What's this?" I said, "Oh, Ma, that's me doing fine." He's a good boy. Good boy. Send me on out everywhere.
Yep, I see your child. Yes, sir. No DNA test needed. That is accurate proof. It can be a ruling from the court bench.
That's the guy.
Yes.
That's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but even as a sinner, man, I can't understand that. I cannot understand somebody not doing what God asked them. And you the man that told us that God talked to you in an audible voice. I
did not tell you that God talked to me in an audible voice. I said that God can't. God
had to come and tell you.
The black conservative can't tell me how God talked to me. He's not me, and he's not God. God speaks to my heart. God speaks to His word. But now, let me share it. God will speak with audible. It's what His words say, and I believe His word. That's why I thank God for slavery. Because in all things I give God thanks. His ways are not my ways. His thoughts are not my thoughts. Lean not to thine own understanding. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, my friend.
Okay, I don't think you should ever take anyone should ever take from God and stuff. Okay, your words, not mine. Okay, that you are going to take a break, but you're going to be refueling for God. You know. And stuff and everything. You know, I just can't see that.
That's
I cannot see that.
You don't have an intimate relationship with God. It's beyond your understanding.
You hit the nail on the head. You have hit the nail on the head. That's what I do have.
You got an
intimate relationship with God, and I've had it ever since I was a lad of a boy.
Really?
That's the guy. I told you. What did I tell you? Taught me how to pray.
I don't recall. Who did you tell?
My dad.
The same.
Man, I couldn't have been no more in the 2nd grade or something.
The same dad that wouldn't go to church and then led you to the Baptist church. That dad.
That's the guy. The one thing that I can tell you is that every day, from that lad of a boy, we're talking 7 years old. All right, so you're a numbers guy. Okay, these knees have hit have hit that flow every night. I don't care where I am or what I've done. Okay, that I do have is an intimate relationship with God, and I've had it for a long time. This Christian walk, sir, if you did not know, it's a hard one. Okay, but it's one that you should never get off of.
Well, I'm never. And tell me, where do you get the instructions for making this Christian walk that you make?
Where do I get this instruction from? From my Savior.
He talked to you in an audible voice?
No.
How does he talk to you?
When the call you, he will tell you that you told us that. Okay. He was the one that told you.
Don't worry about black. Don't worry about black. Let's talk about you. How does your Jesus talk to you?
In spirit.
In spirit?
In spirit.
And how do you hear him in spirit?
I hear the audible voice in my life.
And how do you hear him in spirit?
With my belief. I believe in him.
Oh, you do?
Yo, yes, sir.
But now, wait a minute, though. Aren't you the man who said that you don't believe everything in that Bible?
Sir, I believe everything in the red. Now, when you go to quote, right.
Interesting.
See, I'm the red guy. You the Paul guy. You tried to be like him just a few minutes ago. I told you, everything in that red, I believe. Now, when you go picking out Paul and Peter and all those people and stuff, that's where you lose me.
Well, in the red, he not say that the effeminate will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. That little gay faggot Richard. That ain't me.
Homosexual, man. Just say
homosexual. But now in the red.
I said faggot. Go ahead.
When it's in the red, and he said that they will not inherit the kingdom of heaven, doesn't that tell you as a believer that to be something that you should be fighting against?
But Pastor God, I can't do it. When you told me this, and I didn't like that. I'm telling you this, then I'm get up the phone. I didn't like that when you said that was like. I told you I ain't going to no churches and stuff and everything. I told you I went 2 times all last year and stuff and everything. I thought you was my religious savior person or something. Now, here's what you told me. I told you that you should be interested and my soul be saved. You told me that was your job.
The Bible says, not I, work out thine own salvation. The Bible says, not I, once I present you with the truth and you reject it, to shake out the dust off my feet and don't have nothing else to do with it. The Bible says, not I, that every man shall carry his own cross. And that's what the Bible says.
Okay, here's my thing.
I gave you the truth now. When you rejected that, it don't mean.
Because I don't reject no truth. That's what I do.
You don't reject no truth. Isaiah chapter 32 says liberal ideology is evil. Do you reject it now?
Liberal ideology is evil?
Yeah,
Isaiah said that.
Isaiah chapter 32. Oh, that's not
Isaiah's not in the record. Hey, man, sit there. I don't know what's going on with you, but something wrong with you. I can see that. We all can see that. Something wrong with you. But I hope we can come through it. I really do. And that's coming from the heart.
Well, I'm going on sabbatical, so as long as I get a commune with God, I can assure you, I'm going to come back renewed, I'm going to come back refreshed, I'm going to come back revived, and most importantly, I'm going to come back ready.
Okay, well, enjoy your Sebastian.
Sabbatical, man, it's a sabbatical. Sebastian is somebody's name.
Can I say hi to my lady, Mother Joe?
You know what I'm saying? Hey. Hold up. Now, what do you use? What do you use with Miss Masters?
Man, Miss Master. Miss Master, I'll let her on the back of that moped, man.
I know, and then you're going to be hollering, who, me? Bye, man. 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. I got to be anointed by God to deal with what I've been dealing with. Man, that's another thing I'm looking forward to with this sabbatical. Mm-hmm. You know, because some of the things, gave me signs, let me know now, Judah don't realize how he blessed me. People like Judah, when they do stuff and it frustrates me, that lets me know I'm not on top of my spiritual game, because I don't run from demons. Demons run from me. The Spirit of God, this Holy Ghost that's in me, it can withstand and it can take on any demonic spirit that's out there. And when the light dust settles and the smoke clears, no darkness can overshine the light. Something. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
I don't care what the devil say. Jesus will.
Hell, is smoking and God ain't joking.
You sure know what to say.
What's up, my man?
Look. I was just listening at you and other guys, they look like when I come on radio, I'm waiting on you and other guys.
He is a test of my ministry, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but look, I'm just shout out to all your listeners. I want to let all y'all know I love y'all, and you better love me back. Let's spread some love, okay?
Let's spread love. And happy birthday to me. I'm 20 years old today.
Well, happy birthday, then. I hope you live well over 20 more.
Amen, my friend. Thank you, my man.
All right, bye now.
And you know what, Q? This birthday, July 30th, 1961, that first birth, and it don't even compare to January the 10th, 2000. When you that born again birthday, when you truly get born again, when you become childlike and what you think and what you feel goes out the window, I'm going to live my life based on what the Word of God says. Man, this is a power that you can't imagine. It's stronger than nuclear energy. There's a strength within my strength that gives strength to my strength. They call that Holy Ghost. Yes, sir. It is real. Mother Jones saying something for other guy. Here it is. Mother Jones be on it. Yes, he do.
Message from D. Dolores Jones' mother. If other guy is on this Christ walk, then why in the world he vote for Democrats? Why would he call right wrong and wrong right? And he says he's a Christian, but yet he's a liberal. Something is wrong.
It's because he's lost. He's lost. He's lost, oh Lord, standing on the top of the pole. He's lost. He's lost. He's an old man out of control. 901-452-3094. 901-324-7490. You know what? Can I talk about something too? What's that? Somebody called a couple of days ago and I can't do what I'm talking about. He said, man, you make it seem like it's all blacks. How bad? And me and him agreed that's not. It's probably about 10% of the black culture that commit the crimes and all that. 90% of blacks are law-abiding citizens and stuff. They hard work, they work. But you know where the problem comes in with the black culture? What's that? It ain't the 10% of them that commit crime. It just hit me just the other day. It's the 90% of them that keep voting for these people with these liberal policies that put in place the crime in the black culture. Mm-hmm. This evil, demonic, these people are sitting around here now want to blame President Trump for the people shooting the plane down. And what people not realize the consequences, so you put somebody in office like another Obama that's going to send a plane load of money over there, you let these people go and the man killed a American contractor. They already raided the embassy. Oh, no, but they didn't bomb it. Man, do y'all realize for the sake of hating this man, you destroy this country as well? It is so insane. And blacks, only blacks, that's why I had to pick them out, only blacks have associated a political party with their race. Man, we black, we Democrat. 90% since the Civil Rights Bill been passed, over 90% vote Democrat and voted automatically. Don't even know what the issues are. Can't tell me nothing about what climate change is. But I'm for it. I played Nana yesterday. These same old blacks are sitting around here pushing these Democrats, and they pass these laws where your great-grandchild come home, 5 or 6 years old, somebody that had anal sex with them, and you want to get upset. No, don't you get upset. Don't you get upset. You voted to put these people in these places. Got these fellas go, man, if they bring back Booker T. Washington High School, and we need George Washington Carver back, and we need the Benjamin Hook School back. Man, see, they got rid of our old schools. They were failing. And you ain't got to be, how are you? You wouldn't put your child in that public school system, period. They are teaching them perversion. Mm-hmm. They make them watch CNN all day. They don't teach civics, so that way they don't know government. Ask your 15, 16-year-old child who the senator is. Oh, what is a senator? Wake up. Wake up. Before it's too late. And they put you to sleep. Mm-hmm. You got this guy, man, and let me start by saying that Bishop Blake has sued this man. He won the lawsuit, and he even took him to jail. He supposed to put this stuff down, but he didn't take it down. I found this guy from Coach. He's a bishop named Bishop Earl Carter. So he's upset with Bishop Blake. Let's hear what he got to say.
I'm in Amsterdam, which is without a doubt the cannabis capital.
Oh, in Amsterdam getting high. Let me get out of there.
God bless you. God bless you, 7,000 Club. I know I'm supposed to be on tonight, but I have to go out of town. And so Sunday morning, I will be having our 7,000 Club Sunday morning worship at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
This is Bishop Earl Carter, the Church of God in Christ.
Listen, I don't know. I was just thinking, and I thought about the AIM convention that's coming up. And I thought about the reputation of the AIM convention. And I thought about Charlene Edwina Blake. Oh, he is the presiding bishop of the Butt Snatchers. Matter of fact, he is Charles Blake, the Butt Snatcher. And I think he probably has snatched the butt of William McRae. I know that he snatched the butt of Keith Jones and those two boys, 14 years old. And Now be careful, young people, because if you go to AIM, they might snatch your butt. All right? That's a shame that the convention, the AIM convention, is known for butt snatchers. All right? So don't forget Captivito, y'all that need Captivito, going to the funeral now where the young man died because he was a diabetic. And also oxygen for your pain, knee, elbow, wrist, whatever the case. And also carpal tunnel syndrome. All right? So I'm signing off, but don't forget Charles, or let's say Charlene Edwina Blake is a butt.
He had another Mother Jones. Let me see what that one is.
Message from other guy. Mother Jones is what is wrong with me.
But see, this the foolishness that they got going on in these churches that make people think that God's not effective. You know, I used to tell people, even if you don't go to church, a boot-based church, a lot of y'all would have did better not going to church at all. Just telling you the truth. You won't talk to Ricky again. You said, Ricky, do my birthday. I'm cool. Sit down. Hello, Ricky. Happy birthday to me.
How do you do, sir?
Do I do well? How about yourself?
I am hanging in there. You know, I have a solution to where you don't have to go to the voting booth at all. Just let me visit every daycare center in Tennessee with a big bag of lollipops.
Did you visit every daycare center?
Yeah, just
Ricky, you and the children now?
Oh no, I ain't never really did nothing like that.
You did it to your little brother?
I was a little brother myself at that time.
You still did it?
No, we didn't really do nothing, but
you done been doing what you did.
Well, I grew up headed in the wrong direction.
Oh yeah.
But
they wonder about where you're going now.
Let's see.
Hold on, let me play this short video for you, Rick. I want to get your comments. Hold on.
All right.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. Oh, I can't no more. I'm living. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not tear a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will. I will. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. Oh, I can't no more. I'm living. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not tear a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will.
Ricky, did you do that?
Now that's what's that sounds like one of them psychological problems. I know all about them. They make me take a shot about it.
Make you take a what?
I take a shot about it. My mental case from the angel dust in the military and the Army. The VA makes me take a shot every month.
Did you, Ricky? Did you put on makeup?
Say that again.
Did you ever put on makeup?
No, I never did that.
Did you ever cross dress?
Say that again.
Did you ever cross dress?
No, all I remember about that is when I was 12, I held a bra up to my chest. I never did put it on or anything, but I never put on any female clothing at all. I just grew up not really having bearings on whether I should get with a male or a female. I wasn't looking for a male, but it just happened. Yeah,
it just happened.
But I never did hate women and all of that.
Hold on.
I've never been like that.
Yeah, I'm not even asking about how it just happened. Okay, I gotta get this thing called by Richie.
There you go. Hey, That's a good idea. Just let me go visit the daycare centers with a big bag of lollipops.
Now we're gonna leave you in that
And
home.
we'll have nothing but Democrats forever.
Bye. Hello, Carl. Welcome to the show.
Hey, happy birthday,
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for saving me.
Well, you know, I know why Q is skinny now. Somebody else took those ribs and passed them along to me.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad I came. I got a pie last year. Mm-hmm. I got ribs last year.
Yeah.
Okay, what you gonna offer this year, Pastor?
I'm gonna offer you a Good News Bible.
I'm coming. I'm
gonna get it in the Braille for you.
I take it.
I know it.
I like the word of God.
I'll just say, I know you love the word. This I know.
Pastor, but you know, it's funny. You know, to get my wife to drive me the second time to your congregation,
right?
She said, you know, that young man that was sitting up in front of us. I said, well, I don't know his name. She said, yeah, it's just one letter. I said, one letter? Q. I said, Q. So that's why when I got there, I said, Q, I blame you, remember? She said, she'll blame me because of you.
Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a real good thing.
I didn't think he was the man in my life.
Oh, Lord. I think she said because... I think it's just because of the love we got at Revelation, right? It's the love we got. It's not trying to take...
That's what I'm talking about.
We don't want to take your love.
And Sister Jones, Mother Jones was sitting right over to my left. Right. And Sister Maxwell came up and gave us a hug after church and everything. Mm-hmm. Fellowship.
Oh, yeah, we're going to fellowship. We're going if you get the revelation, we're going to love on you. I don't care who you are, we're going to love on you.
So I thank God for the fellowship and the love of Christ and knowing and to be able to hear his word. But Q, I'm glad you ain't fat no more. I get all your ribs so you'll never get fat again, brother.
Gotcha. Thank you. Bye, Ray. Love you, man. Bye.
I love you.
901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. Q, our class don't seem like it's been no 20 years. It don't seem like it's been 14 years with you. No. You and your daughter were running around at just 2 or 3 years old. She couldn't barely talk. And look, you wouldn't look up. And golly, I mean, we done been all over the world, Puerto Rico and Jamaica and the Cayman Islands and Cozumel and St. Louis and Orlando and Detroit and Cleveland and Washington, D.C. I mean, we're going back to D.C. again this year. We got to go. We ain't been to the African American Museum. I want to see that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, D.C.'s on our agenda for this year. Man, just so many things that God did for us, people. I know. And then you came up through the ranks, but you made it, you was a deacon, then you moved up to being the president of the deacon board, and then you go, were you an evangelist before you came to pastor? Did you talk about, okay, you went straight to pastor? And I did, man, I just, golly, man, look what God gave us. Radio show that broadcasts all over the world, weekly TV show, and we still run Revelation the same way we started. We don't buy, we don't sell a Revelation. All we do is give. We don't charge for nothing that we do in God's house. I don't receive a salary for doing this because it's not about my job, it's about my life. I do this on faith. And now we got the Revelation Christian Son House of Prayer YouTube channel too. We got the Revelation Christian Son House of Prayer YouTube channel. That's right, amen. And we got the Revelation Christian Center PayPal account if you want to support us financially, even if you can't do it in person. Send them through you. Hello, Carla. Welcome to the show.
Well, happy birthday to you, sir.
Hello, happy birthday. Thank you, Brother Chris D. Caller.
Yes, I am the caller. That's all capitals.
I got you now. I got you now. All capitals.
Do you remember probably one of the first calls that we had over the station here was I asked a question, and that question was, are people disillusioned about the church?
I do.
About the church.
I do, because that was the time when I couldn't tell whether you were friend or foe and where you was coming from. I remember it well.
Now, the two clips that you played of the bishop, and I don't know who the other guy was.
Bishop Earl Carter, and he was talking about Bishop Charles Blake.
Yeah, and the other one.
The other one was a young guy that went to the Church of God of Christ convention and declared he's not gay no more. Then he got arrested for solicited male prostitutes a month later.
Okay. That's nice.
No, it ain't nice.
Well, you know, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Anyway, when when people like that are representing God, you can understand like why I was asking about that conversation now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the representatives of the Most High God, they have to be, what's the word, blameless?
They're supposed to be found without fault.
Not greedy or filthy lucre.
Not greedy or filthy lucre.
Husband of one wife?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ruling their own wife and children well.
Exactly. And the line goes on. Now, I know what I felt when I went to your church.
Right.
Okay. And it wasn't no behind snatching.
No, ain't no booty back.
There was no acting.
No booty backing up in there. No.
There was no acting, but preaching the gospel in the pulpit.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's what, of course, I'm looking for. I can speak for me.
Right.
Okay. And that's what the world is most likely looking for.
Now I gotta stop you there, Chris. The world,
that's why I said
not even most likely. The Bible is clear. That's the last thing that the world is looking for. Scripture is clear. The world is looking for.
Okay.
They're looking for itchy-ear doctrine. They do not want a true. Only those who are true seekers of God are seeking to find somewhere where the true word of God is going forward. Because you have an honest desire to please God and learn His word that pleases you. But somebody who's of the world, they despise me.
Well, put it this way. Until they know better, they'll do better.
Nah, I go with that. Now, Chris, I got 2 minutes. I got to get out of here. Hey, man, I love you, and I want you to know this here. On this birthday, man, I know this. I'm trying to make this journey, and you trying to make this journey. We're going to keep making this journey together, all right?
Now, one more thing.
Come on, make it quick.
I'm going to need you to give you my number after we get off the radio.
Please do. I've been meaning to ask you for that. Please do.
Okay. Put me back to Q.
All right.
Hold on.
God bless and I love you. We got another caller? Okay. God bless. I love y'all. I'm headed off for sabbatical 2020. Pray for me. They got some things they're going to do this week. The show still be on. I don't know how long God's going to have me on it, but I do know this year I want to be along with my God. I'm looking so forward to it. And I thank Him so much for these 20 years. If you like the show, support the show. Go to AndreGuy.com. Click on Revelation Christian Center. You go to PayPal, or you can mail it to 1561 Boxwood, Memphis, Tennessee, 38108. I told you how I got here. If you believe that I'm doing this because of God, only He can turn nothing into something. Help me, y'all. Help me. God bless. Happy birthday, Apostle Andre Guy Reed.